time doesn't wait for you. You know, in your 20s, you have a lot of time, and you know, just get on the things that makes you happy. Get on the dreams, like all those dreams that scares you, that you keep postponing and thinking you're too young to go after them. Go after them now. Because
take risk. Yes, you might lose out on a lot.
A lot of it.
Or take a lot of risk. In your 20s, I'm not joking. Take as much risk. In the 20s, I really cared about what people thought of me.
I know, right? Yeah.
I really cared a lot about what people thought.
I spent a lot of time, you know, holding on to friendships and, you know, relationships. And I feel like I used to enter relationships like with the ideology of, oh, this is going to last forever, you know, best friends forever and all of that. But it's not the reality of life, you know.
Your 20s are also very, very important in terms of like when you want to choose your career and your finance as well.
Hi
guys, welcome back to another beautiful episode on Unscripted Duo.
Yeah.
Hope you guys have been enjoying the videos we've been uploading of late. Anyways, today I brought you here to talk about some of the things I'm doing, or I did in my 20s, early 20s, that she did that we just want the younger people, or even people that are maybe even in their 30s, you might still be making some of those mistakes, or you have one or two to learn.
So this is just our experience. You don't have to take it's not like we're advising, we're just
just
reflecting.
Exactly.
So I'm currently in my early 30s, and I feel like the first thing I learned from my 20s is that time doesn't wait for you. You know, in your 20s, you have a lot of time, and you know, just get on the things that makes you happy. Get on the dreams, like all those dreams that scares you, that you keep postponing and thinking you're too young to go after them. Go after them now, because give it another 10 years or a few years, for some reason, like you don't have the time anymore. Like you suddenly start seeking time to rest, time to like enjoy yourself. But I feel like in my 20s, I had a lot of time to waste around. You know, I was always looking for work. Like I had a lot of activities I was going for, you know. But now that I'm in my 30s, I think that probably like living abroad also contributes to that. But I feel like I'm craving time to do like the smallest things. I'm craving time to hang out, to like even sleep in the day. Like I don't remember the last time I had a siesta. So it's always either I'm cooking or working or somewhere, you know. So you don't have as much time. I'm not married, I don't have children, but exactly, somehow I'm still like a lot of responsibility for myself. So when you're in your 20s, you have a lot of time, and make use of those time, because you might not have the time in 5 years.
True. Honestly, I mean, when thinking about it, like it shocks me that I'm going to turn 30.
But it's just another day, you know?
Yeah, no, I know. But like in my head, I feel like my 20s ran so fast.
Yeah.
Because I swear, I feel like my 20s ran so fast, which is why this thing she said, where like find times to do the things that you like, is really, really a good advice. Because by the time you know it, you either married with kids, and your next priority will be your children. You barely have time for yourself. So yeah, I think another thing that I learned in my 20s, that I'm even trying to, early 20s, I really cared about what people thought of me.
I know, right? Yeah.
I really cared a lot about what people thought of me, and it doesn't make sense, because the truth is, you know, there's this thing called the spotlight effect, where you think that all like people are, you know, looking at you.
I feel like we're like the biggest critics of ourselves. And that's a very bad place to be, because sometimes people are not even judging you as much as you think they are judging you.
Exactly, but the truth is they actually have other things that they are thinking about.
Everybody have a problem.
But even if they are judging you, like don't give a rat's ass about it. There's this saying that I learned, where they said if you cannot take advice from them, don't take criticism from them. Like yes, they might say
that's a good one.
So people might, you know, maybe you're starting out something that is out of the norm, and people are judging you. Like by the time you look at it and be like, oh, but this person, I don't really care about this person's opinion. Try to not let it get to you. Do not let what people will think or what people will say stop you from chasing that dream, stop you from going after what it is that you want to do. And we're even in an era now where everybody's seeking unique things.
Yes.
So if you think you have something unique that is out of the norm, and you're worried that people will judge you, let them judge you anyway, because even if you don't do it, people will still have something to say.
honestly.
Whether you like it or not.
If I'm totally being honest with you, like, because this whole thing of 20s and 30s, for me, I see it as a continuous journey, you know, because it depends on different people's experiences. People have different experiences. There are people that are fast groomers, and there are some people that are also late groomers, you know. But one other thing I think I learned is that everybody's journey is different. Don't go and be using another person's lifestyle to be judging your lifestyle. Everybody's journey is different. So once you like go through your self journey and figure out what your journey is, it will make you be at more peace. You will no longer be wanting to be like other people. Maybe like when you see things working out for others and it's not working out for you yet, or maybe like sometimes when you feel like you're going faster than others. I think it happens to some people as well. So when you realize that everybody's journeys are different, it will make you like walk on your own journey with more peace.
You know, this thing she said is very, very, very important.
Yeah.
And why I think is very important is because in your 20s, a lot of things, especially let's say you've graduated from university,
yeah,
a lot of things are going to change. A lot, because your friends, some people are going to get very lucky.
Yeah.
Some people are going to succeed more than the others, while some people are going to be left behind. Is a sad reality. I remember when we graduated, I started my farm. Raji and Ami, they started their journey as software engineers. At some point,
I started feeling left out.
Yeah, I was feeling very left out. I started comparing my life to their lives.
Yeah.
And it really, really got to me. But that was early on. Like I think when I was 21 or 20. Yeah. Like I was 20 or 21.
Because it's difficult to just like expect that everybody's life are going
exactly.
to like,
It took me a time to learn that people's journeys are very different. And that thing too that it helps me with is like I come from a very large family. While some of my friends they come from medium-sized small family. And sometimes like when you make a lot of money, like okay maybe you see like this person's savings or this person's money is bigger than your money, and I'm like you can't compare that because I'm coming from a very large family.
Yes.
So my responsibility definitely will be more. So
even though you might make him more,
even
might not be staying.
Even though you might be making more, it might not be staying because you have huge responsibilities. So imagine I'm not comparing myself to my friends. I'll be miserable all my life. So that was one thing that I discovered early on that helped me. Try not to compare, no matter what. People's journeys are very, very different.
Yes, I absolutely like agree to what you say, but I feel like the next one for me is once you stop wasting your energy on the wrong people. You know, I feel like in my 20s I spent a lot of time, you know, holding on to friendships and, you know, relationships. And I feel like I used to enter relationships like with the ideology of, oh, this is going to last forever, you know, best friends forever and all of that. But it's not the reality of life, you know. Along the line, you're going to lose people. And rightly so. It mustn't be in a bad way. It can be distance separating you. And a lot of times when distance separates you, you tend to like communicate less, not because you're enemies, but just because life has separated you. So I feel like it's one of the things I had to learn, that it's not every friendship and relationship that will last forever. And you have to just be okay with that. You need to learn how to like heal and move on quickly and, you know, get on to the next one.
Before I say my point, I really want to add to that what she said, which is super important, because in your 20s you're actually going to lose some friends. Not because, as she said, that it's intentional. There's this saying where they say there are some friends that are for some seasons.
Yeah.
You would get to, especially if you're someone who you're working to grow, like you're working on yourself, you realize that as you progress and grow as a person, some of your friends and their goals and kind of lifestyle will not align to you. So instead of remaining there and letting them push you down or drag you back, the best thing is for you to also know when to walk away. It's going to hurt. You're going to have a lot of friendship breakups, but for your self-growth and for your own betterment, always try to make the right choice by leaving them behind.
I totally agree with what you said, and I can relate to when you said not every, like some people are seasonal. I read a quote that said that everybody that comes into your life is one thing. The person is either an attachment or an assignment. So the people that are attached to you, they are meant to like expire. So the time in their life is meant to expire. But the ones that are assigned to you, they will be with you through life, you know. So and sometimes somebody being an attachment doesn't mean that you're going to bring them negative energy. There's just a certain level of your life, stage of your life that they are meant to like lead you through. And if you look back in your life, if they were not in your life, you know, your life might not have been complete. They've served their assignment and they've moved on. So once you realize that, it would also help you like with friendship breakup healings.
True. That's very, very I've never heard it like that before. Okay, that's very beautiful. The next one that I want to talk about too is Your 20s are also very, very important in terms of like when you want to choose your career and your finance as well. I'm someone who always talks about money. Most times you hear people say, oh, your 20s are like when you have to make the most out of it, and some people don't believe so. Your 20s are when you're supposed to flex and enjoy life. While I agree to that, I also feel like it's very, very important for you to take your 20s seriously in terms of like building out experiences in your career, in your finances, like learning how to save, how to invest, learning how to read books that will help you grow mentally, that will help you develop your vocabulary, because this is now when you're going to start interacting with people outside of the walls. You know, like when you're in university, you have a guideline on what
how to live life,
to live life, what you're supposed to do by 8 a.m. be in the lecture hall, after this do that. But once you're out of those confinements of this is what you're supposed to be, now is the time for you to now make choices that would favor you.
Yes.
So in your 20s, try to take your career very seriously, because it will help you in your 30s. And in your 20s too, because you don't even have a lot of responsibilities, that's also when you will have the opportunity to save more, invest more, have more money. The truth is, when you have more money, there are a lot of bullshit you will not take. There are some jobs that you'll be there very unhappy, and because you have saved enough, you can choose to walk away. But if you don't have enough savings, you don't have, like, you're not taking your finances seriously, you will be in a lot of situations that are uncomfortable, but you cannot.
And you don't have a choice, you just stay.
And it also affects in relationships, like when they tell people to have their own money, because some people are in very horrible relationships because someone else is funding their life and they cannot fund their life. So they cannot let go of that bullshit that they are suffering from or passing through because they don't have their finances together. So take your career and your finance very seriously in your 20s. It will help you as you move into your 30s.
I know it might be cliche to some people, and they'll be like, you would often hear people say that, oh, career is not everything. It's not everything, but career is actually a lot of things. Because an average person spends 8 hours every day on work. You don't always spend that much time like with even your partners and your friends, you know. So your career is a very important aspect of your life, and taking it seriously, there's nothing wrong with it. And then this is part of your life that is even spoiling your lifestyle. What is more important than that? So take it seriously. I think the next one for me is that you become more like the people you hang around.
Why are you saying? Why are you saying things I want to say? I don't think about friendship.
Your friendship circle is everything. Mind the kind of people you hang around with. You know, don't be the only star in your team. Don't be in a place where people are looking up to you. Be in a place that you have people that are challenging you. It doesn't have to be financially. It can be intellectually. It can be emotionally. It
can even be socially.
It can be socially as well. But you have to have something that you're benefiting from the people that you're hanging around. You have to be growing. If you find yourself in a space where you're the one that is always initiating things, or, you know, always pushing every other person to grow, it might be the wrong circle for you. So,
you know what they say, like, people will be like, oh, but we don't often hang out. The truth is, you won't even know when you're picking up some habits. I'll give you an example. Before I met Amaka, we used to like work out, just very fit. I think because we started our health journey in university. I started mine in 3rd year. Okay, I put on weight in my 3rd year or so I started like skipping. That was when I learned how to skip. But I didn't really take it as seriously as when Amaka came into my life. So I am in Raji, in Wagada, in Andela, in university itself, we would run. Like, that was when I started.
Oh, really?
Yeah, we used to run around UNN. Oh my God, we used to run every morning. I can never forget, like an hour minimum. Then when we got to Bagada, we walked out together. We moved to Berlin. We walked out. We still. So that's what, like, as she said, like, my friendship with Amaka, in as much as she's my friend, but I still learn a lot from her. Now, another thing too that takes seriously, that I learned from her, because she takes it very seriously, is like eating healthy. So if you're around people that don't eat healthy, trust me, you wouldn't know when you will start slipping into not eating healthy. You might think that, oh, I have this will, or I be whatever, strong will, like nobody can change my habit, or I'm not going to be a thief because my friends are thieves. That's not me, that I'm disciplined. Is a lie. Slowly, you might even start accepting those horrible habits. Like, you will not start reasoning, but it's not that bad. But it's not that bad. And slowly you start sleeping, and then that's what they say, show me your friends and I'll tell you who you are. It is very, very paramount that you look around you and see that the core values of your friends, there are things that align with you. If those values don't align with you, please walk away. I'm begging you, because the friends will help mold and build you. So if you look at me, or if you look at her, you would know the kind of friends. Like, I can easily spot the kind of people that are your friends because of the way you behave. You get. Yeah, so it's very, very important. Another point for me too is learn to take risk. A lot of people run away from.
I was going to say that as well.
You see, I think that's why we're friends as well. Because the reason I like most of the times, take risk. Yes, you might lose out on a lot. Or
a lot of it.
Or you might win. In your 20s, I'm not joking. Take as much risk. You know this way they say throw the spaghetti until you see one that sticks.
I've never heard that too. Oh. It's not like that. It's not spaghetti.
Yeah, just throw it until something sticks. Okay. Yeah, you know spaghetti like when you some will fall up and some will stick. Throw as much pasta on the wall as possible, because in your 20s you have the opportunity to make a lot of mistakes as compared to your 30s where you probably have kids, or if not even for kids, more responsibilities, because now you're paying your rent, you have to take care of your insurance, you have to a lot of things, so your expenses are going to grow the more you grow.
Yeah,
your responsibilities, your expense. Even if let's say you choose not to get married, you're going to have nieces and nephews somehow, either from your friends, you inherit them from your friends, or your siblings, right? So take as much risk, because in taking that risk you might discover the things that you really like, or what will propel you in your 30s. Do not be too scared to try, because you have the opportunity to keep failing and failing and failing until you figure out something. But if you keep saying, oh, I'm not going to take the risk because I'm going to lose out, the truth is they tell that the biggest risk you actually take is not taking the risk. So do not be afraid to try out things, make mistakes. They will say fail fast.
Yeah.
When you fail fast, you will know, oh, okay, this thing didn't work out for me, means that I don't have to try it anymore. So try whatever it is and see if it works out for you or not.
100%. I feel like in your 20s you're going to have a lot of energies. If I'm being honest to myself, I feel like when I was still in my 20s, especially early 20s, there were so many dreams. You can't tell me anything. I had a lot of dreams that I knew that I was going to actualize, but suddenly I'm beginning to, it's almost like I've opened up my mind to reality, which is a bad thing as well. I feel like I don't take risk as much as I used to. I still take risk, but not as much as.
It's now very, very calculated.
Yeah, because then I didn't have a lot of responsibilities. I didn't have a lot of fears. Because another thing is that the more you educate yourself, the more you have fears. Because now you're aware. But if you're not aware of certain things, you just live your life with freedom. Exactly. Yeah, so take a lot of risk now that you have the time.
I agree.
So the next one for me is learn how to create boundaries. Don't wait for don't seek validation in everybody. Don't wait for everybody to like you. Learn how to thrive even in the situation where people don't like you. Honestly, this is something that I'm still learning in my 30s. I haven't learned all of it, but I think it's something that I'm slowly learning. Learn how to create your boundaries. People would only respect the boundaries that you create. If you don't create a boundary, there's no boundary to respect. People would treat you the way they want. But if you create your boundaries and respect your own boundaries, people are going to learn to respect your boundaries. So this is,
I totally agree. And that this boundary thing you're talking about is also, because some people might not understand it, or some people might be like, oh boy, it's too strict. No,
it's not about
people
being strict.
People will treat you with the amount of respect you give yourself.
The way you treat yourself, yeah.
So if you're someone that whenever they push you like this, you go, they push you here, you go, people will just assume, and it might even be hurting you, but you cannot speak over. People will assume that you like it that way. You're okay with it. But by the time someone does something wrong to you, and you be like, I don't like this.
Yeah.
If they're your true friends, they would appreciate that. Oh, you let us know when to stop pushing. I used to be a people pleaser a lot. I used to be a serious people pleaser. I didn't learn how to create boundaries, especially in many areas of my life, really.
I feel like it was the same for me. That's why I said I'm still learning this, because I used to find it so hard to create boundaries because I didn't want to hurt anybody. Exactly. I wanted to but you not realize that people are being intentional about those small things. Yeah. So I'm beginning to I've been exposed to some behaviors now and some situations now, and I've seen that people know what they're doing.
They know what they're doing. That's why you
know exactly.
That's why you will hear statements like, "Oh, that's she now. She's okay with you, man." But it's the truth. That's why.
Or somebody will be like, if he's Guinea cat,
she will not.
Do you understand?
Because Guinea cat has created the boundary. But when it's like, it's cheating man now. She will be okay with it.
Understand.
Because people have done it severally and have accepted it. I've not spoken up about it, so they assume that it is very okay. Because
I hope you didn't do that to me today.
No. It could be,
Because you have subscribed to me by 12 today, and I'm saying Dima by after 2. Maybe she would have said, it's Chairman, I should understand.
No.
Let's already bound it now.
No, I don't take you for granted. I promise you, people. Or camera.
When it comes to time.
But it's actually very true. Like, we need to create boundaries so that we will not be hurting internally, and the people that are doing it keep doing it because they are unaware that it's hurting you. And then you will not start brewing this anger and hatred for people because you feel like a line has been crossed, but they don't know that a line has been crossed because you didn't in the first place.
You didn't make it a line. So the last one I think I want to say so that we keep this video short is that happiness comes from within. You are enough. You know, you are enough. You don't need validation. You don't need another person to make you happy. It's okay. Like, human beings naturally like seek this kind of validation from the people they care about. But learn how to ride solo. It will help you a lot in life.
It will help.
Like, riding solo doesn't mean that you don't give a fuck about people. You give a fuck only about people who give a fuck about you. You know.
100%.
So only learn how to like take yourself out, learn how to like enjoy your own company. Just go after the things that you want. Nobody will love you. I'm telling you, nobody will love you the way you love yourself. And another thing is that people don't care about you the way you think you care about you.
They care about
If anything happens to you, even the person that loves you the most is going to eventually be okay. You know, so you have to love yourself more than any other person.
I totally 1,000,000% agree, and that also boils down to say that it's actually very unfair to expect happiness from other people. Right? Because if you're giving people power to make you happy, it means that 90% of the time you're going to be miserable. Because people will
prioritize themselves. They will choose themselves first.
My last just so that this video is not long, is make yourself interesting. But what I mean by making yourself interesting is explore, read books, travel if you can. If you can't, it's okay. You can travel through movies, like research and all of those things. Read books, be smart. Like, because you're going to interact with a lot of people, what I'm trying to say in the essence of this is that it gives you confidence. If you're someone who is very smart, exposed and educated, you would not find yourself being intimidated by a lot of people. And you would also, I think it also opens doors for you. Like, say for example, I'm in the midst of a lot of people, maybe they are talking about, maybe I see these people who are very, very educated and exposed. I don't feel very intimidated because of the way I study and
because you have an idea of every topic.
Do you get? So I try to, even if I don't even have so much understanding of what you're talking about, the way I would quiz you, you would interact with me. Because I'm going to ask you interesting and intelligent questions that would make me interesting. You get? So people really do not like boring people.
And the more you know, the more you feel confident like asking questions.
Exactly.
But if you don't know, you feel ashamed to even ask questions because you think you're sounding dumb. But if you know enough, you can confidently ask
the level of exposure and intelligence you have also matches your level of confidence as a person. So it's very important.
And that will lead me to say my final word. I said this was the last word. So the last one is relating to what you just said. I feel like you should learn how to drop ideologies. Learn how to change your mindset. The way your parents brought you, the culture you're used to, the tradition you're used to, is not always true. It's not always the best. So you have to learn how to figure out what is your own culture, what is your own ideology, who you are basically. So learn how to be okay, even if this is how it's been done in your generation, in your entire family for 100 years. Learn to question intentions and cultures and behaviors and all of that, and pick out the ones that works for you and the ones that will project you.
100% growth mindset versus fixed mindset. So guys, we don't want this to be too long. If you leave us, we keep going on and on and on. But like, thank you guys so much. Let's know some of the things that you wish you knew in your 20s that if you're in your 30s now, even 40s, like, just let us know in the comments so that other people can learn as well. But thank you so much for joining us today. We hope you enjoyed it and we hope you learned one or two. Thank you so much, and we'll see you guys in our next video. Make sure to like, subscribe and share, and we'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.